people, and I want you to hear this part. I walked in as a 30-year-old GSM, youngest GSM in Cadillac in the nation at the time. And I had 5 salespeople that were 5 inmates that were running the store. And they had been there from between 16 and 32 years. So imagine trying to change culture as a punk kid that could be the son or grandson to any of these guys.
Oh, I know. I mean, not exactly, but I totally, I've dealt with the same situation.
Every store has these 5 guys, by the way, or gals. They all have the one that does this and does it. So, but what they told me, just in the short overview, is that process won't work here. So then my job became not a matter of will. It became a matter of selling. We're always selling, because now I got to sell guys that have been doing it 16, 32 years the same way on trying it a new way that they think their customer won't put up with. Mm-hmm. Right? So we got through that, and we grew Cadillac from doing 25 to 40 a month to a solid 80, and got the used car department from 50 to 80. And now we're going to work on Land Rover that was doing like 9.
How did you get buy-in, though? How did you change the 5 people that were telling you?
Oh my God, like raising kids. So it was making an off, 7 Habits, right?
Yes.
So it was an awful lot of emotional bank account deposits. It was an awful lot of yanking chain with the license and right to. Mm-hmm. It was an awful lot of jumping in and doing it for them when they said
that's what I was wanting to hear. Thank you. Okay, so speak on that a little bit. I'm sorry I jumped in before you finished it because I was hoping you were going to say that. So,
well, okay, so now, and I got to give the credit to this analogy to my dear friend. I don't know if you know Scott Kallur, the GM at Dimmitt Chevrolet in Clearwater.
No.
World famous guy. And I mean, I've learned so much from him in the business. But Scott Kallur was my roommate 30 years ago. He's the GM at Dimmitt Chevrolet. But when I joined a platform, Scott was running multiple stores. He had the greatest saying that is absolutely true. He says, when we run an ad for a sales manager, a desk manager, our interview goes like this. We say, can I please see your bolt hole? And I was just like you, bro. I was like, what do you mean? He says, the way we know they were a desk manager somewhere else is we ask to see their bolt hole. And they lean forward and they point to their bolt hole, which is when they're sitting at their chair at the desk, there's a bolt that runs straight down through their head, down through their body, down to the floor. And then they put a wing nut at the top because they can't ever get out of their chair. That's how we know they're a desk manager somewhere else.
Now I understand. And yes,
love that. I love that. So, of course, it's often and early, and of course, it's meeting the customer up front. So when you go on a TO, you're not the closer, scary closer, but going in and doing it, it's not like micromanaging. I mean, you got to walk a line doing everything for everyone and then giving them the opportunity. But I relished the opportunity, and my sales managers that I raised relished. It was just the mood that we had and the attitude that we had at jumping in. Now, when I went on a TO, or one of my staff went on a TO, it wasn't the time for the salesperson who was starving to go have his sandwich. I actually went on a TO and where the guy was leaving, and the salesperson, when I took over, went and ate, and I didn't know it because he left for a minute. I thought he was going to pull up the car or do something. And he comes back picking his teeth with a toothpick when I'm now writing the customer up. And I'm thinking, why in the world did I take a TO and close your sale? It wasn't so I could be your split deal guy and make the deal while you're, it's so that you could learn the process that I went through to take the guy from a stone ass flame shooting out of his butt. No. And where's my keys and where's my effing keys? And I'll never come back to this effing place again, to laughing, hugging, and signing up. Mm-hmm. And you didn't witness any of it, because then after the deal, we want to have a coaching session.